Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another exceptional episode of the Pitchside podcast.
Podcast.
And today I'm with the most decorated captain in South African football.
Okay.
Domi.
Yeah, no.
Ntotse monate.
My brother.
Are you well?
I'm good. How are you?
Easy.
Yeah.
Let's chat Champions League, my brother. We drew 1-1 against ASFAR yesterday. First of all, what are your reflections of the game?
Two things.
Yes.
One, we qualified to the knockout stages.
Yeah.
Which is very, very important for our team, for our club, to always be in that space. And my experience tells me that the teams that wins this Champions League are the ones always in that position of knockout stages. And I do believe that Sundowns and the rest of the teams that are always in these knockout stages, they stand a good chance of winning the Champions League. And the other thing is to see the Masandawana fans and faithful in numbers supporting the team the way they did. There was something encouraging, and I do believe that the Masandawana fans, we need them this season more than ever.
Skipper, we've always spoken about the way of playing, right? The Mamelodi Sundowns way of playing.
Yeah.
But when we go into Africa, do you believe that we should possibly, for lack of a better word, forget our true identity and play in a far much more direct way? I say this because if you look at the Champions League, it has always and it's always currently being won by North African teams. So do you think we possibly need to adjust the way we play in order to start winning this thing? Because currently we don't sit in a place where we go into games comfortable to say, no, ke sure gore re tlo e wina.
I think there's so many things that we need to take into consideration, and one of them is to in the list of things that we want to do in a football match, we mustn't forget to be streetwise. And I think our team, sometimes we do forget to apply those moments of in a football match. We know how we play football, and that's it comes through a mentality. When you've been exposed to this kind of environment, then you know the pros and the cons of winning this. And some matches, it's not about the talent, especially in the Champions League. Champions League match always gives you the two emotions game, where you think you're in control, you're not in control, because you need to still score goals. When you are wasteful in front of goals, sometimes you're not the team that comes out with the points that you want. But these matches that you see the team that is not even in nearby creating so many chances, and they get one and we're out. And we have got so many reference in that regard, because if you remember the match we played here at home against Esperance, Esperance were never near us in terms of participation and competing on that match. But when we speak here, they reach the finals. And that tells you that there will be moments in the game where we always speak about ruthless in front of goals. Take your chances. Make sure that when you lead, protect that lead by everything possible. Yeah.
Skipper, on social media, I'm fortunate enough to be able to join into spaces and hear different opinions of people. And the one concern that keeps coming up is the fact that we play in Champions League year in, year out, but it seems like we don't get the experience that is needed to play this tournament. We've seen how opposition players, for example, will drop and fake injuries, or just to break the momentum of the game, and also just as I think as
and
players,
give us three twice
that you're talking about. What is it going to take? Because I think more than anything, it is frustrating as a fan to watch and be like, every year we are playing Champions League, but I'm not sure if we're getting closer to it.
Those things you can't teach.
Yeah.
It's personal as a player. How well do you see your game, and how well are you invested in your game in terms of that? Because certain things, they're outside the book. It's like at school, the people, they will teach you all sorts of proper grammar and English and everything that it comes with. how the academic level or academic world behave. But in a football, there's certain things that the coach can easily give you with the tactics and how the formation and how we want to do things. But certain aspects of the game are personal in how you want to do things that are totally different. I was fortunate enough to have a super generation of characters in my change room where a lot of things we will discuss them.
Okay.
And certain things that, for instance, when we are under pressure, those who knows how to take the steam out of the match,
Yeah.
they will definitely do that. But it comes with it's personal in how I see my game and how I want to take my game to the next level.
Yeah.
So that those things are actually personal. It's like when you have a good coach.
Yes.
A coach that will say he will give you every information.
Yes.
How you take that, it's so. If you take the information and I take the information, how we take the information, the two of us, will determine how we end up in terms of terms of life and how we do things. So it's totally different, and I think we need to tap into those moments of being, besides being footballers, we need to take the moments of saying, we need to take this thing personal and personalize it and have an environment where we're free to do certain things that are not in the manual. Yeah.
We spoke about how the game will always reward people like Peter Shalulile who are really true to it. He starts the game and he bangs in the goal.
You know, I always say football has their people, its people, because when you give so much, which when you give 50% don't expect 100 or 50. What you give in a football match or what you give to football, you will get the outcome, the exact outcome of that. And I'm happy that a player like Peter is a testimony of that. And I've seen so many players that I played in my days who I believe they worked so hard in their football and they end up getting rewarded for their work, for their sacrifice, and for everything that they gave to the game. And Peter, without a doubt, he's one player that I still say, if any youngster wants to join Mamelodi Sundowns or make this football thing a career, should easily take this and make it make Peter an example to say, this is how I want to do things, and this is what I want to invest in my career. And there's certain moments, I will use myself as an example when I have Naves. There's moments where in my game where I'll take a shot, right? Knowing very well where the goals are. Without looking at the goals. So if you tell somebody who has never done it, it doesn't make sense. So it's because you have invested so much
time
into this, and you're even obsessed. So your obsession says, wherever I will be on the field, I can do this, and you'll do it, and it will come out. It's simply because you have invested so much into this. So that's a good example that the player is still playing. The player is still coming to training with the same hunger. Season after season, he is among the top goal scorers. That tells you that you need to give so much to the game. And the question is always stay with me that after playing football, what do you want us to remember you of? You know what I mean? So that should be a question that many players should ask themselves. Because it's an ugly question, but it's a true that will remain whether we like it or not.
We're through to the quarters, as you said. To you personally now, Skipper, does it matter how we're through, or the important thing is that we are through?
I'm laughing, Naves, but if you recall our journey when we won the Champions League, wasn't a smooth one.
No.
Wasn't a smooth one. There was a time when we had to be called back into the Champions League. While we were doing the parade, I was enjoying myself having that big trophy. And the medal, I still remember. And when they told us, no, we're going back to the Champions League, I was like, oh, Jesus.
Here we go.
How? It was a good 2 hours of my life where I had to switch my emotions left and right to say happy and not happy, happy and not happy. And I end up with a conclusion to say, my team first. Yeah, but it wasn't a smooth one. But we made use of the environment. We made use of the opportunity, and I think this team, they've got an opportunity to redeem themselves.
Yeah.
They found an opportunity to go into the knockout stage, which is not an ideal way of going to the net. But you did it. You qualified.
Yeah. History won't remember how many games you lost. They'll just say...
No. Well, one of my former coaches used to say, the real football starts in the knockout stages.
Yeah.
And how you get there,
doesn't
matter.
As long as you're there.
Yeah. That's why the last time we spoke about the match in Algeria, when I said, you will lose 1-0 or 10-0. At the end of the day, the 3 points is there. If you win 10-0 or you score 2-0, you still have 3 points. So it doesn't matter how you win it, but make sure that you win football matches.
We can never overlook the fact that in the Champions League knockout stages now, you have 2 South African teams.
I love it.
And the rest is dominated by North African teams.
Yeah.
And you can never also ignore that the comparisons will come up. What I have seen is that, and I look at the last year's Champions League or last season's Champions League, Al Ahly didn't have the best
but they won
qualifying, but they won it. And my dilemma on my own is, do I want to win Champions League the rough way, or do I want to win it playing Shushan and piano? What do I want? Do I want the star, or how I get the star?
So this one, it's it's got 2 people that will understand this thing.
Yes.
The football people will tell you that. Or let me just say the former footballers will tell you that I would rather take a medal than how you will remember the match how we won the match. But I'll give you an example before I go there. If you remember the cup final that we won in Mbombela,
yes,
against Maritzburg,
yes,
one of the difficult cup final we played. We don't remember all those moments that we suffered.
We just remember that we got the cup.
Thank you. So the former footballers or the people who played the game will easily go to the podium. Because, history, they always say, don't remember the runners-up, or they always remember the winner. How you won it, however, it doesn't matter. What you did on the match is more important than just, you know what I mean?
100%.
So I would love to be on the side of winning.
Yeah.
Because I know what winning means to a football club, and I know what winning means to players, and I know what trophies means to footballers. Let me tell you something. Don't get it twisted. Players who in that level of Ronaldo, for instance. When you look at Ronaldo and look at everybody that played your Ronaldinho, you don't know that Ronaldinho is, in as much as super talented, he's not in the level of Ronaldo, for instance.
Yeah.
Because of the trophies that the man has won. And in the conversation of football, footballers that played will say, I can't have a conversation with Naves because he has never been to the final before. So that moment is the moment that we will be speaking different language.
Yeah.
So players want to be in that podium a lot because the conversation is different. You're speaking a conversation of winners.
100%.
Yeah.
Skipper, you're playing for the opposition and you're coming up against the current Mamelodi Sundowns team. Do you think that opposition teams have a fear of playing us? Or do you think that they believe that it's open for the taking? I say this leading up to our next game is against Magesi, and they beat us in a cup final. Yes, it's a league game, which is a different mindset, and they've also just come through a bad string of results in the league. My thing is, do you think they're sitting there and saying, I fear this Sundowns team, they're not the same team that we played in the final?
I would love to believe so.
Okay.
Because you can't be a bad team
overnight.
Thank you. So you have to be a team that has to remind themselves that we have been in the situation of winning a lot. And once you're in that position, you have to remember all the good things that we've been doing that has won you the match. And the references are so many for a team like Mamelodi Sundowns. So if you're in the Mamelodi Sundowns team and you don't remember how you used to win football matches, you have a problem. Because your losses aren't many. So the team will easily tap into any match last season or even 2 months ago that we've won. You know what I mean? To remember how did we win the match. A lot of teams now, they're facing this, is it a phase in football where things are not smooth? A lot of, even the good teams. I go to the world of football, I look at Manchester City. I look at Real Madrid, Barcelona. The consistent level of participation has I don't know whether I should say dropped.
There's a change.
There's a change
in the football and in the space.
So, but when you are a big team player, unfortunately, you're in a situation of a position of winning all the time. So we cannot say, how do you feel? Because you're carrying a lot of people's, what's the word? Hopes. And the responsibility that you're carrying are too much. There's people who are just happy that their team is playing. And indirectly, you're making those people happy. Or you're working for those people, even though they're not paying you. You know what I mean? So it's just a sad moment where you, as a player of a big team, the responsibility is no longer about you and how you feel. Make sure that when you step into that field, give a performance.
You're punching through.
A performance that you will say, when you look at the 90 minutes, you'll be like, oh no, I gave everything. That's all that matters in a big team.
Skipper, we're facing a different Magesi. They've got a brand new coach in Owen Takama. I read yesterday in the papers as well that their assistant coach has also left them. What do you think, or rather, do we prepare it looking at it saying, these guys have beaten us before, we need to now go back and exert revenge? How do we? What's our approach?
A warning to my boys is they are playing Owen Takama. They must be ready to be followed everywhere. Man to man is the system and the formation and how he believes his team will win football matches. And that irritates a lot. When you go any position, you find somebody going with you all the way. So you must make sure that you prepare your mind to know that it's not going to be a smooth one. But in as much as it's not going to be a smooth one, make sure that you win it. There will be opportunities because you've got quality, you've got structure, you've got personnel that can, change the match for you. So make sure that in as much as you're going to have that man-to-man system or approach, once you get an opportunity, take it. Because it will be a match of less opportunities.
Earlier on, you spoke about being streetwise, and they have Chipezeze, who is...
He's streetwise.
Right, he's not he's the street. He's not even streetwise.
No, the guy is streetwise. You got to love him.
You've got to love him. I remember even back in the day, Coach Pizzo used to complain about him. Chipezeze will lie there on the floor, and funny enough, when they're down, he's quicker.
Can I ask you one question?
Yes.
Don't you the same approach under Chipezeze?
Yes.
Can't you don't see it go the national
100%.
Champions League?
100%.
That's the streetwise mentality I'm talking about. That, of course, when you speak, those English gurus, they call it a cheat. It's not cheating. You
got to break the momentum.
You're breaking the momentum.
You got to get the ball to start swinging your way.
Thank you. And unfortunately, when you are leading, the opposition team will react. And certain moments when they react, they will threaten your line and they will threaten your team. But you got to know when to kill the momentum. You got to picture yourself winning the match already. But winning the match, it means there should be a moment where you pause the attacks of the opposition. Make sure that you you delay in some moments, and delaying is not cheating.
No.
You're still playing within the
technique,
rules and
yeah.
regulation of the team and of football. You just need to make sure that you know how to force the opposition to play where they're not comfortable.
Makes sense to me.
Thank you, Magesi.
Skipper, score prediction against Magesi.
I see this one, we win in 3-0.
3-0.
Yeah.
Your scorers? You're going to say Ribeiro.
I want Peter to be on the score sheet again.
Yes.
I want Reyners to score.
Yes.
And Ribeiro. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Pitchside podcast. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave us your comments. We are
Masandawana.
Masandawana.
Ever.